Morning world, Hippy Trev here, and yes, the return of the peg mic is back temporarily. So I think I confused a lot of people yesterday with what actually happened out on that bike run, as far as microphones and noise and feedback noise and all that sort of stuff is. So okay, so back on this mic at the moment because I want to show you what actually is going on here. So firstly, yet again, thank you JC for the setup you sent me. So I call these the JC mic because JC sent them to me. Now, mate, I thought you were in the States. I don't know where I got that impression from. And when I first received these, I told everyone online that I got these from a guy called JC over in America. Well, you're not in America, are you? You're travelling from Northern Territory back down into New South Wales. I don't know where I got the impression you're from the States from, but anyway, we'll let that slide. So, anyway, thanks to this generous gift, I ended up with what we call the JC mics. So these are a Rode mic, they're called Rode. These come with two transmitters and a receiver. And you also get like a few of what they call dead cats that screw on the top and so forth. And this is what I've been using lately. And also came with a nice case. These are the new GoPro batteries I bought that aren't really cutting the mustard at the moment. And he also, this showed up later, USB port with 3 ends on it, USB charge cable, which is bloody fantastic, which means I can charge all these 3 at the same time using one plug instead of having 3 separate plugs for all this. I can charge all 3 out of the one plug. This is absolutely bloody brilliant. So back to. So I think the best idea is to show you the setup on the bike and how everything was and is. And so this is the bike setup. So I have my 2 camera mounts, one facing at me, one facing down the road, and normally I'd have these extension cables, one out of each, running back and into my helmet. And these were sort of okay, and you know, a lot of wind noise, and you know, you could a lot of wind noise, and you could hear me. It wasn't the greatest. So there was a lot of wind noise. So what it was these. I got these 2 $13 mics. These were also a game changer. Actually, these were really good. So what I did is in the helmet here, you got your cheek spots in the helmet. And so down here you have your cheek spots in the helmet. And what I was doing is I was putting both microphones in there. They'd sit in there, and then I'd run the leads. So then I'd run the leads from the cameras mounted on the bike to there, and I'd have these hanging out the bottom. These actually work quite well. A lot of wind noise, but you could actually hear me. And I've been sort of making my YouTubes doing this for quite a long time. And then JC sent me these. What a game changer! These are great. I'm still learning how to drive them. Now the problem is. Well, not the problem is, so what I did the first time around was I got this, tucked it up into the helmet, and I did that ride. Now, you could hear me, the wind noise, but there was so much static, there was so much distortion, and so I went and looked at quite a lot of YouTubes on these microphones and learned about my dB settings and all that, which sort of helped. And then JC sent me a YouTube explaining how you can set up there's a setting on here, they call it a bad setting, I don't even know what that means, and that reduces a lot of static and so forth, and that seemed to help too. So like yesterday I went out on the bike with that in the helmet, on the bad setting, no distortion, a fair bit of wind noise, but you could still hear me, but I also had the dB set down fairly low, so I've got to keep trying dB levels with that just sitting in my helmet. Now, where did all the static come from and the noise? Well, what happened with that is I started plugging the external mics into the transmitter. So basically, the transmitter sat in there. I ran that through the cheek into there. And as you saw yesterday, I had a mic out the front. Well, that's when all the noise and distortion happened, when as soon as I plugged this external mic in, the background noise. Having this out the front of the helmet, no wind noise, I could speak quietly and clearly. It was absolutely perfect. And if it wasn't for that feedback noise, I wouldn't be here making this video today. So I had to do a few test runs. So right, today's mission is I have to do a few test runs, which without putting this in the helmet, I'm just going to plug this into this, set up this on the camera, and start walking around and seeing how much feedback we get and how far away, if it makes any difference from the mic, plus changing a few settings on here, and see where we go for there. So anyway, Walds, I'll get back to you when I've got this set up on the camera and I'm walking around with this, and let's see if we get any background noise. So rightio, back in a minute. Rightio, Walds, so I'm running this at the moment. I seem to have buggered this transmitter up. I was pushing buttons on the back of the receiver. So I was pushing buttons on the back of the receiver to try and turn the bad setting on for this, and I've totally disabled this completely, and now it won't turn back on. So I've actually completely disabled one of my transmitters. I'll have to go back into YouTube. So anyway, the bad setting's on, and now I'm going to plug the external microphone in and move the dead cat. And now I'm running on external microphone with the bad on, and apparently this is what causes all the feedback noise. So I'm just walking around. I'll turn the camera around. So apparently with this setting on and an external microphone, this is what's causing all that bad feedback noise. So I'm just going to move a fair way away just to see if it makes any difference. And yeah, this is all trial and error. So instead of being out in the bike and trying all this, I'm just going to try this here. Now I'm going to come in a bit closer, and I'm also going to turn that bad setting off. I don't even need to carry that. Rightio, so I'm going to go and turn this bad setting off, and hopefully I don't wreck this unit completely. I'm going to go into the shade here. So highlight that. Hold that for 3 seconds. Bad settings off. Rightio, so I've now turned that bad setting off. I'm just going to walk away and walk around, and let's see if that makes if there's any noise or any feedback noise. This is what we're working on. So I've completely disabled the other transmitter by trying to turn the bad setting off and on. I've completely disabled the other transmitter, and now the receiver's not even picking up that transmitter. I don't know what the hell I've done. I've turned everything off and on a couple of times. I'm going to have to go back into my YouTube. So I was holding the button down that turns the bad off, and it just completely disabled the whole sound system. Oh, me and technology do not get along, obviously. Okay, so you can't see me, but I'm about to try and turn this bad signal back on. Right, the bad signal's back on. Rightio, so I'll put the bad setting back on, and so I guess we'll have to see about distortion now. So rightio, Walds, just a short vid on basically the mic set up on the bike, and just a few little test runs here, and other than that I don't really know. Right, I'm just going to pull this out for the end of the video. Now, as I was riding around yesterday, I lost one of my crystals, that my daughter sent me. So you can actually see it in the video that I was heading out of town. I was doing a U-turn, and the crystal was hanging right here, and then just as I was taking off, you can actually see the crystal. It looked like it was in slow motion. You can actually see the crystal just drop. Now, I drove back out to the spot yesterday and had a good look around and couldn't find it. And then two young fellas pulled up, and Spud and his mate heading off out to Utopia out there. They had a bit of a look around with me, which was, thanks guys, I really appreciate the help. And still couldn't find it. I might do a quick run out there today and see if we can find it again. I know exactly where it fell off, and you can actually see it in the video. And you can actually see it in the video, like where I'm on the bike, I'm taking off, and you can just see it drop. I'll show you that in slow motion. So yeah, went out there yesterday afternoon, had a good look around, couldn't find it, pretty distraught. So this was another broken one that Ra gave me. The cages broke. So what I did with a little bit of thin tie wire, I made my own loop. So Anyway, so yeah, I'll probably head out back out there a bit later and try and find my crystal. It's sitting on the side of the road there somewhere, whether it's shattered when it hit the road or smashed or got run over by a truck, I honestly don't know. But I want my crystal back, so I know exactly where it dropped off, exactly what point of where I was when the crystal actually fell off. I was only just taking off, so there's a good chance it's still sitting there in amongst the gravel on the road. So, but anyway, Walt, yeah, that's today's vid, just a short one trying to explain what happened yesterday. So, well, I didn't explain. What happened yesterday was I went out in the morning, I did the ride with the extension mic plugged in and got home, went to do the editing. All that footage completely useless. So I did the second ride out there with this and the dead cat stuck inside the helmet, and then I inserted a couple of minutes of the first ride with all the background noise, and people seem to get confused between the two. So that's why I've come out and made this video today explaining that, yep, the first ride I didn't, so it was the second ride that I went out with just this inside the helmet, and it was the first ride where I had the extension mic coming out, and that's when all the feedback noise was, which, like I said, I inserted that into the video, but I didn't explain it properly, and yeah, everyone just got really confused to what the hell was going on. So basically, when I plug the external microphones into this unit, that seems to be when all the feedback noise happens, whether I have whether I have the bad setting turned off or on. So now I've got to go in and try and make this receiver work, and try and work out how to make the. Sorry. Now I've also got to go in and try and make this transmitter work, and work out how the hell I turned this off, and why the transmitter is no longer picking up this receiver. So, rightio, well, stay safe, keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll catch you later. Bye.